He is a weird and interesting guy. Like, watching his interview with Lex, the way that his brain works, it's like everything is being processed through how does this play to the algorithm.
Yeah.
And it slightly unnerved me a little bit. I think that, he just seemed like, I got this sense, and he seems like a great guy and like super smart and, obviously, but it seems like he felt like, I don't even necessarily know if this is worth my time to even be doing this interview right now, because I don't know how many views it's going to get, and I don't know like how it's going to play to the out, because his time is he knows how much he can make every second of the day spending on a video. And like, so if he's going to go do an interview with another smaller YouTuber, like that's impacting his rev.
Right.
And I think that's dangerous to let that control the content that you create. It's backwards. Like like the comic was saying. It's like do the thing that you do as best as you can possibly do it. Don't make the algorithm, like, I guess you could, if the algorithm is your thing, if that's what you want to be the passion of your, like, I guess maybe some people do love it, but it seems a little bit inverted.
It's a little bit inverted, but that's also, he does so much good, and it's so interesting to watch him do the thing. I mean, I get it, because like his content is fantastic. So what he's trying to do is maximize the reach of his content. And so it's just clever.
Oh yeah, the blind, curing the blind people. I mean, that we need more of that.
What's wild is he got hate for that.
Right.
But
what was the hate specifically?
Who gives a fuck? Yeah. But it's just funny, because you cannot do anything that won't piss someone off, because people are engaged in recreational outrage, and that's what they're doing. And they're trying to figure out an angle. Oh, this rich guy's doing this thing, and really he shouldn't even be rich. No one should be rich. And blah, blah, blah. No. Oh, you're just trying to do this to make yourself look good. There's all these angles that people will take on things, which is their prerogative. And in a world of free speech, the beauty of what is the nature of the First Amendment is that you should be able to express yourself. And so I fully support those cunts to rag on him for.
How many blind people have you cured?
I mean, they're allowed to have their perspective on it. And obviously that's the take. Like, you're not doing anything. So But people who aren't doing anything are also allowed to chime in on stuff.
Yeah.
And they can look petty, and they can look foolish, or they can have really good points, and that makes you. But that's the beauty of what we have today. There's so much dumb shit involved in social media, and there's so much bickering and hate, and there's so many people that are addicted to it, and it's elevated their anxiety level, and they're all on medication now because they're fucking tweeting 12 hours a day. There's a lot of that going on. But if you can figure out how to manage yourself and manage it, now we have access to information at an unprecedented level, where like something like the Restrict Act gets picked apart by brilliant people on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, on everything. And that's so valuable. So we have to figure out a way to preserve that. And it's to have this kind of thing today. It has never existed in human history. Never. Not one time has there been a time in human history where a person could tweet about a thing and it could be shared by millions of people, and all of a sudden the conversation about this subject changes. So you have a public narrative that's being pushed forth by these propagandists, and then someone comes along and says, actually, this is what's really going on. And then Twitter will fact check it, and then people will chime in. And this is a beautiful thing. I mean, it's really an amazing thing. So with all the bad that comes with social media and it's just not good. When you see, like, someone will post something, and then you'll see someone has a very specific response, and then if you take that specific response and Google it, you'll see hundreds of verbatim exact responses from people that look like real people. You go to their site, there's a picture of them smiling. There might even be a picture of them with some fucking AI-generated kids. It's really weird when you look at someone's feed. Like I've looked at someone posting something controversial, and then look at someone who has what seems to be like, well, this is a suspicious take. And then I'll go to their page, and it's all suspicious takes. Like that is, and occasionally the retweets of things that go along with the narrative that they're posting, but it seems like very calculated. And then you realize, like, this person has 30 followers. This is not even a real person.
Yeah, human detection is so key now. Because there's going to be, armies of bots, AI bots, fully autonomous are coming. They're mostly here. And we just need, they're not going away. I mean, there's going to be, and there's going to, be mastermind sort of engineers who have these armies that they control, and it's actually entertaining. Like there's gonna the AI JRE, you know, that's getting hundreds of thousands of views. I mean that's like
Sure.
they're blowing up. So like
Yeah.
that's a whole thing for that person, and there's gonna be value and there's gonna be negative stuff that comes from it, but you know, I just love being able to watch it play out, and just everyone's at war, mainstream media at war with independent journalists. I mean,